Starting now, this is your local news leader, News 10 ABC in the morning.
Good Tuesday morning, and thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Christina Orangio.
And I'm Ryan Peterson. Here's a look at the stories we're following for you this morning.
A jury now set. Opening statements expected today in the quadruple homicide case in Rensselaer County. News 10 breaking down what we know about the case so far.
I was robbed of the ability to carry my own child. I never had the opportunity to grow and bond with her during pregnancy.
Switched before birth. Two Los Angeles couples giving birth to each other's babies after a mix-up at the IVF clinic. Why they've decided to share their story now.
And Albany County starts vaccinating 5 to 11-year-olds today. How you can schedule an appointment for your child. It's all ahead for you this morning on your Tuesday. Thanks for waking up with 10 on Fox 23. We have had day after day of beautiful weather. Here we are,
nice
November
little stretch,
9th.
right?
Yes. And we've got a few more.
We do. Certainly today is going to be a beautiful one. We'll talk about a few little changes that
set up those custom traffic alerts.
Well, happening today, opening statements expected in the quadruple homicide case out of Troy.
This after the jury selection process wrapped up just yesterday.
It's a unique case because James White, who stands accused of killing 4 people inside a Lansingburg home, is representing himself this time.
Both the prosecution and White got to question the prospective jurors, of course. The prosecution trying to gauge their understanding of the law and the concept of reasonable doubt.
White questioned them on their ability to be impartial and fair in the case after hearing and seeing graphic details related to the children. 2 of the homicide victims were 5 and 11 years old.
James White facing 9 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of second-degree murder. He's also charged with burglary and robbery.
Turning now to the race to vaccinate. Starting today, the Albany County Health Department will be offering the Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. Now, some of the dates and times for the appointments are listed right here on your screen. And a reminder for you that you need to register in advance.
Happening right now, a boil water advisory in effect for businesses and residents who are on the Cobleskill water system. This includes the village of Cobleskill, the town of Cobleskill, and Warnerville, and it's in effect until further notice.
Happening today, the Capital Region is remembering legendary local news anchor Dick Wood, who passed away at the age of 91. According to Dufresne and Kavanaugh Funeral Home, a wake will be held today. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. at Our Lady of Assumption Church in Latham. Tomorrow's funeral service is at 10 a.m., also at Our Lady of Assumption. The service and the wake will be open to the public. Wood, who served in the military, will then be laid to rest with full military honors at Saratoga National Cemetery. For more on Dick Wood's legacy, you can head to our website, news10.com.
Well, happening today, Albany International Airport and the TSA are outlining the airport's plans for this year's holiday travel season. They'll also be announcing some preparation requirements. That's happening at 11 this morning. So stay with later editions of News 10. We will bring you the details.
Looking ahead to Veterans Day, it is Thursday, and today, one local school is honoring more than a dozen local veterans and their families who've served and currently serving in the armed forces.
And we usually join them every year for this ceremony. It's a lot of fun. The students will be singing patriotic songs and playing those instruments. Our Jen Seelig joins us live once again from the Brown School in Schenectady with more on their Veterans Day ceremony. Jen, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan and Christina. I've been talking about this ceremony all morning, so now I'm going to toss it to the students who have worked so hard, and now they can show off their talent. Awesome. Really great job considering this was a rehearsal on live TV. You guys are going to do such a great job with the vets coming out later this morning. For now, I'm going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Agreed.
Love it.
They nailed it.
Christina was marching right along with it there.
Great.
And we're honoring veterans here at News 10 as well by sharing your messages and photos of the men and women in your life who have served in the military. So send them our way to the email address you see right there on your screen. You share. That's the letter U, share at news10.com.
All right, let's get you up to speed on the top stories trending on this Tuesday morning.
Pfizer is likely to seek authorization from the FDA for its booster shot for people ages 18 and older this week.
A government official with knowledge of the situation telling ABC News this. Right now, those eligible for Pfizer's booster shots include seniors, adults with certain medical conditions, and adults who work in environments that put them at greater risk of exposure to COVID-19.
And in an effort to vaccinate more 5 to 11-year-olds, the Biden administration asking school districts across the country to educate parents about the COVID vaccines. The White House also encouraging those districts to set up school-based vaccine clinics by using the money from the American Rescue Plan. Our new details now on the deadly stampede at the Astroworld Music Festival in Houston. The FBI is now helping out with the criminal investigation portion of this. To what led up to that tragedy, at least 8 people died. Several lawsuits have already been filed against Travis Scott, who organized the show, and Live Nation, the producer here, promoter. Police declaring the incident as a mass casualty situation. The Houston police chief releasing a statement saying that he had met with Travis Scott and his security team before the show, expressing concerns about safety. Scott now promising to pay for funeral costs and any mental health related support for the families affected.
7:06 right now. More leaked documents show that Facebook was aware of its effects on users. According to the Wall Street Journal, internal research from Facebook found that 1 in 8 users reported compulsive use of its platforms, which interfered with sleep, work, and relationships. The Journal also says Facebook had a team that focused on user well-being, but they shut that team down in 2019. Facebook's new parent company, Meta, said in a blog post that the reports misrepresented their research.
Well, 2 Los Angeles couples giving birth to each other's babies after a mix-up at the IVF clinic.
Just awful. The family spent 4 months raising children that were not their own.
Daphne and Alexander Cardinale were overjoyed giving birth to a baby girl through in vitro fertilization, but they noticed that unlike the rest of their family, baby girl had a darker complexion and jet black hair.
Couple learning through genetic testing that the baby they took home was not genetically related to them.
And having to push through my own denial to discover the truth of what had happened to our family, I was overwhelmed. We know how important it is to share our story so that this can never happen again.
The family has filed a lawsuit against the California Center for Reproductive Health, along with the other parties they say are responsible.
Well, 4 astronauts are safely back on Earth last night, coming home with SpaceX, ending a 200-day mission to the International Space Station that began last spring. Their capsule parachuting safely into the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. You see the recovery boats swiftly moving in here with spotlights to get them out of the capsule. Now, they should have returned Monday morning, but high winds delayed the return until last night. Remember, for more on these stories and latest breaking news anytime, just head to our website, news10.com.
New this morning, Albany County Executive Dan McCoy announcing the first public meetings as part of a countywide climate resiliency plan. He says the focus will be on protecting Albany County residents from the impacts of climate change. First meeting is next week, Tuesday, November 16th. It runs from noon to 6.
Also new this morning, Governor Charlie Baker over in Massachusetts announcing that the Bay State's National Guard has finished its school transportation mission. You might remember the state deployed the National Guard in September to drive school buses because of the driver shortage. Governor Baker says the school districts that requested that assistance are now able to meet their transportation needs. Well, new details as a major contract has been signed between the healthcare union CWA and Catholic Health Systems out in Buffalo. The 4-year tentative agreement ends a lengthy strike that started last month. Workers are expected to return to Mercy Hospital there in Buffalo as early as tomorrow. One of the major issues the union had was with regards to staffing. The deal promises 1 worker for every 4 patients on the medical and surgical floors during the day shifts and 1 worker for every 5 patients at night.
Bringing Hollywood flair to the Capital Region.
Oh, News 10 catching up with Tony Dovolani from Dancing with the Stars, right? Dovolani giving lessons at the Fred Astaire studio there in Saratoga Springs.
And as National Dance Director for more than 100 Fred Astaire studios across the country, Tony says anyone can be a ballroom dancer, including a certain News 10 reporter and anchor.
Quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow. Give me a little spin.
Look at her go.
Nailed it. Way to go, Stephanie. Look, she had a blast. Oh my gosh, I remember dancing with him years ago, and he really does make it easy. You think, I'm not going to be able to do this, but he's obviously good at what he does and a good teacher.
Hey, he's not too bad to look at either, right?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. Starting his career with Fred Astaire Dance Studios at 17 years old, by the way, Tony Dovolani.
Yeah.
Spent 21 seasons on Dancing with the Stars, and he is the nicest guy.
Really, it seems kind of late because you hear a lot of these people when they reach that stage, they've been doing it since they were like 4 or 5 years old. Seems like kind of a late start, but way to go. All right, 7:10 right now. Checking in with our mental health.
A new survey finding as COVID cases rise, so does our anxiety, why experts are suggesting we need to unplug in order to recharge.
And a new record set for the oldest person to complete the Appalachian Trail. We'll introduce you to Nimble Will Nomad.
You're watching News 10 ABC, your local news leader, with Christina Arangio, Ryan Peterson, Mary Wilson, and meteorologist Jill Swed.